Hey everybody, it's Greg here with another video. So this is kind of a little bit of a different one, but so this is a Honeywell air purifier. Now, I've never worked on one of these, so I kind of wanted to show you my process of how I diagnose something when I don't even know how to take it apart. So first things first is you always want to test it, verify what the customer actually says is happening, because it just, they might say there's no power and you plug it into your outlet and you got power. So just that's the first step. So I've got it plugged into the wall and tried playing with the actual touchpad and everything, and nothing does come on. So I verified it. It is, not working. So the next move is usually to find the model number, because you can research a little bit and you can find videos on how to take them apart, or you can find videos on other people having that same issue and what they did to fix it, just things like that. So on this guy, model number is on the bottom. There's a little sticker there. So I've already got that. I haven't done the research end of it yet, but maybe I'll go do that and then I'll get back to you guys. Stay tuned. Okay, so I tried to do some research on this guy, and the only thing I could find is how to clean the filters on this guy. So there's no rip down instructions. The owner's manual, I downloaded it from Honeywell, and that more or less just tells you to change the filters and stuff. There's no diagnostic kind of stuff in there. I can't find anything online. So at this point, you got to kind of just rip it apart, and yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So this guy, I noticed earlier, you just hit that and this comes off. Put that over there. So this is where all your filters and stuff are in this guy. So when you want to clean them or whatever, that's where they go. I try to keep them in order if I can, just because I don't think they necessarily have to go in the exact same spots, but if you can do that, why not? So I can see 3 screws here, probably, yeah, 3 screws there. I don't see any other screws out in the open, so I'm gonna try to take these guys off. Maybe this back panel will come off. What I'm trying to get into essentially is this guy up here. So I've already unplugged it, but I want to get to the back of this board and then I can test for power here. If I'm getting power to the board, but this control panel isn't coming on, then I know this is the actual issue. If I'm not getting power to this guy, then I got to trace it back all the way to the wall and see where we're losing power. So I'll get those screws out of there. And it looks like it's a Torx. Hard to tell what exact Torx that is. Kind of looks like a T20. So I've already got one on the screwdriver here, and these are a long way back, so you're gonna need a fairly long screwdriver to get in there. It almost seems like I'm not quite getting to the actual screw, so I'm going to see if I have a longer longer bit because this shoulder here is hitting the inside before that actually connects with the screw. So I'll see what I got here. Okay, so I found a setup that works. So those screws were actually torque 20s, but let's see that or not, but it's also got a little piece in the center there. That's a tamper-proof. So it had to be torque and also tamper-proof. So I found a little setup that let me get in there because it's quite deep too, that you have to go to get to those screws. So we got it. Now we're just going to, I guess, split this guy. If we can do that. So there's a bunch of clips along the top here, so I got to get it out of those clips. Got to pry a little bit, but I'm using a pick. You can probably also use is just a little tiny flat blade screwdriver. Probably get in there pretty good with that. But just basically going along the edge, trying to pry that out. Try that down, so it helps. So there's no screws up there, so no, it just has to be clips. Those clips really hold on. There we go. Yeah, so it goes like that. So you gotta try to kind of get in there and see if you can split the two pieces. Alright, that guy's over here. Alright, so yeah, we're into, this is the motor here, blade back there. And got a bunch of wiring here that looks like it leads up to the board. What we want to find is the incoming power. So the power cord comes in the back here. So it's this black and white wire here. There's two screws here. Maybe I'll try to pop those off just to see if we can get inside of here, because there's no connector or nothing here, so I can't. I don't like stabbing wires. It's not a great thing to do. So let's see if we can pop this guy up. I'll get those out. Okay, so I undid these screws here. So this comes up. Now I want to be able to plug this in still and test for power. So what we're going to actually have to do is I still don't have access to some kind of a plug or something like that that I can test for power on. So what we're going to do is there's a whole bunch of little screws holding this this guard here on. Actually, let me make this a little lower here. Okay. So yeah, there's a guard covering this whole board assembly. A bunch of little screws in these slots here. So we'll get those out, and yeah, hopefully we'll have access then. So we got to all the guts. Let's see. There we go. Get this out of the way. Okay, so all the screws are gonna fall everywhere. Make sure you catch those, because you'll definitely need to reuse those guys. They're a fairly small screw, and I don't know, they're pretty tough to find those elsewhere. Okay, so yeah, here's a black and white wire coming in. There's a little bit of a gap there that we might be able to test it at. So what I'll do is, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to anybody that isn't good with a meter and has worked on I guess quite a bit of electrical, because it's, you know, you can get pretty hurt here. So I'm gonna get my meter, I'm gonna plug this guy in, and we can take a reading at these connectors here, the white and the black, which is directly connected to the actual plug that you plug in the wall. So we'll make sure that power is getting to this board here, and then make sure power is getting up to this board here. So we'll do that. So I'll just go plug this guy in. Okay, so that's plugged in. Let's grab my meter. They don't give you actually much to test on that guy, but there's enough. At least I hope there's enough. Okay, so connect one side. Actually, let's do this. Let's move to the white. Let's move to the black. Is that weird? I was pretty much expecting to see the 120 there. Quit moving on me. I wasn't expecting to get anything. There's nothing there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just connect that from the wall, because we're not getting power. This is basically the wall plug is pretty much what we're testing. We're just testing it further down the line. So what I'm going to do is check for resistance through this line to see if possibly there's a break somewhere in the cord. So what I'm going to do is connect to one side of the plug, so like that. Now I'm not sure just by looking at it which one is which, whether this is the white or this is the black, or I don't know. But I'll put my meter on. Yeah, this is the white side. So the meter is reading, actually maybe I'll show that to you guys. See that? So I go to the white wire. We're getting essentially 0 there. So if we jump over to the other side here and put our lead on the black, now we're getting something. Okay, so what might have happened is I might not have had a good enough connection when I was testing for voltage with this guy. So we'll plug it back in, knowing that the cord and wiring and everything running up to this board up here is good. You just gotta get on that connector a little better. It's pretty tough because that plastic runs down almost to the board, so you gotta almost pry up that plastic just a hair to test it. So I will go plug this back in. Okay, now set my meter back to voltage. And we should have there we go. So we're getting about 125 volts. That's right around where we want to be at. So all the wiring and everything coming into this board here is good. Now to test from this board to this board, what we're going to need to do, because I can't test anything on those, well, actually, maybe I can. There's a bunch of you can see where this ribbon part comes into this board. There's a whole bunch of solder right there where those make a connection. So what we can do is I'm going to connect maybe let's no, let's go across these. There. So I'm not sure at this point whether this volts through this guy. Coming into here, we know that it's alternating current, just because that's what comes out of your wall. But these boards can always change it to DC. That's so you need a different setting on here. Let's see. Okay, so I got 5 volts DC right there. I'm just going along the pins, making sure I only touch one at a time. Okay, so from this outside guy to here, we do have 5 volts, so it'd be nice if I had a wiring schematic for this guy, but I imagine that 5 volts is what this board needs to run. So basically we figured out that, well, this board down here is good. This guy is not. Okay, so I've disconnected the touchpad part from the other board. I'm just going to take the screws out of it. Just want to make sure that there's nothing burnt up or anything like that on the other side of this guy. And I might be able to do some more checks when I get to the other side, but we'll see, I guess. So I'll get those screws off there. Okay, so after ripping apart the whole thing, finding out that top board isn't good, I cannot get that part. So I'm gonna have to, I guess, send the unit off probably to Honeywell, and they're gonna have to fix it, which isn't cost effective, but that's the way they do it, I guess. So anyway, it was a good teardown, I guess. So if you guys like this video, give it a like, give me some comments as to maybe what you've torn apart in the past and you know, ended up with the same kind of circumstances. But that was fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.